Welcome back. Episode. Oh, I don't know the episode actually.
It doesn't matter. It's not counted. We've already established that.
I'm gonna say it's 140. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna be wrong.
That seems too high. I shouldn't have said that because now you're downing yourself.
Yeah. Now I gotta look. Now I gotta know. It is actually episode 140.
Well, I said it seemed too high. I didn't say that it was.
But it's video 2 of your request one?
Video 2.
What was the first one? Oh yeah, no. The first one was the Itachi. Yeah, we don't count the streams as.
We don't count that Itachi video, really. Because what the?
We are talking about the cringiest romance anime ever by ThePseudoIntellectual. It's really hard to find his channel in this video.
I can't find this. What's going on? Where is it?
It's really hard to find this channel and video.
I just can't find it.
I don't know. I had to go through my history, and I just so happened to try to look at it in Firefox like 2 months ago. Yeah, you're gonna have to go through the history or the playlist or something.
Why didn't I make a playlist for the viewer request ones?
Hey, that would have been a smart thing to do, huh?
That would have been a smart thing to do, huh?
Do you want me to just go to it up here?
Yeah, let's just do that. Cause what's this channel? Is he just throwing all sorts of slurs? That mug is hidden. Plus, I guess the title, Cringiest Romance Anime EVER, that brought up quite a lot.
But even so, like, coupled with his name. There we go.
I've talked a lot about romance anime, and Rent a Girlfriend remains at the top as one of the worst ones I've ever covered. However, today I think I may have found a worthy competitor.
As a man that has read both, this is not a worthy competitor.
Hey, why does Naruto feel so good to watch?
Yeah, maybe we should watch that video and know.
Yeah, no, there's no conceivable way that
even just the little bit you know about Rent a Girlfriend.
And from what I know about this, because I watched, he's not gonna talk about everything that I watched, but I want it to be thorough.
You should have just read it.
I was doing it while I was making art.
Okay.
So just do a twofer.
Yep.
So yeah, and I wanted to at least get to when they got together, which thankfully was at the end of season 2. So
spoilers, by the way.
Of course, spoilers. Don't come into this bullshit. It's a romance thing. They're gonna get together or they're not gonna get together. Shut up.
Yeah. I enjoy Dangers in My Heart.
Yeah. I have problems with. I think it's just like a nice 7. It's not setting the world on fire.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest issue is just I realize I'm a big romance snob where I'm just like, tell me why they like each other, and I didn't get that here.
Really, that's crazy. I'm kind of the opposite. Some people just fall for each other, and I am along with the ride sometimes.
Sure. Absolutely, but it was just when they were. It was near the end where it was just the girls in the room, and Yamada they were talking about boys and stuff. It was just like, what kind of boy do you like? And she just goes, one that would say they like me. And I'm like, that was a perfect opportunity to just list all the stuff that you like about. And I'm just like, why does he like her? And it's just, I'm going along for the ride, but that's always in the back of my head, just like...
There was a conversation recently of everything in the world, as far as media goes, has some level of you need to suspend your disbelief.
Absolutely.
But there are times where you can't, and it feels like this is one of those times where even if it's just a niggle at the back of your mind, it's always, I can't suspend my disbelief of why do they like each other.
Yeah. No, because like with Comey, it's just like you can just go, hey, there's like another person of equal status that you can just go, Tadano could just go over there and it's fine, and he goes, He doesn't want to for these reasons. You just go, okay, that's why he likes Komi and would prefer her over her. But that's still an equal choice.
Spoilers.
Yeah, well, I guess. Yeah, I guess. But Dangerous in My Heart, you got the pervert dude that is just like, well, obviously no. And the player dude that is just like, well, obviously no. The moment that he realized that he liked Yamato was when she got a ball to her, a basketball to her. Why are they 13?
Dude, they're so young.
Let's just table that over there. Let's table that over there. We can talk about that in a second. Mm-hmm. But she got a ball to her nose, basketball to her nose, and she's crying, and he just goes, I like her. And I went, why? And that was just always there. And it's more excusable if the cast was bigger and more stronger, because they're just simply not. Two of Yamato's friends just never talked to main dude one-on-one. I like the other one. I like the gal girl
thing, I guess.
What do you mean?
Early on, because they do talk quite a bit.
No, I'm talking about like one-on-one.
Oh yeah,
it's all just big group stuff,
and he just happens to be around.
Yes.
Have that. I will say, do you care about spoilers, or are you gonna keep reading?
I'm on. It's chapter 143 of all of them, and I'm on like a chapter 120. So
okay, you probably already went through the study trip then.
Yeah, no, the confession was
that was great. I love the study trip.
Yeah, I liked his confession. I didn't really like hers.
Yeah, that's right.
I like the mask was he took it off. I was like, yeah, that's good stuff there. The cavalry battle, stuff like that. Where
love the cavalry battle.
Yeah, but they're on and he's just yelling about, I like her. It's like, you're yelling at a dude that just has no reason to like her other than the superficial thing. If it was an actual rivalry type of thing, it'd be like, okay, there's a sense of accomplishment because there was an equal choice that Yamada could go for, but she chose him.
I don't necessarily see it as the rivalry thing there. More so that they're friends, or at least becoming closer friends, and he kind of doesn't want to hurt his friend, considering they're basically already together, and he doesn't want to hurt him.
But it could have accomplished multiple things.
Yeah, of course. Again, there's almost nothing in this world that can't be improved on. And this is something that can be improved on. Cringiest anime ever? No,
absolutely.
If anything, you could say the dude is super emo in the beginning, and you could say that's cringe, where he's just like, I'd love to kill everyone in this room.
But he grows out of that in like episode 3 or 4.
Yeah, he's just some weird loner kid, and then when he becomes less loner, he becomes less weird.
Yeah, so. And that's why I'm curious about how much he actually watched. Because it's just not cringy at all.
I feel like this might end up being a Giggig situation where he has something in particular he wants to talk about. Asta screaming. Mm-hmm. And then everything else is just kind of centered around that loosely. And he doesn't have any strong points throughout the video. It's just going back to the, oh my god, screaming. And I wonder if he has a point he wants to get to, and that's the meat of the video, and the rest is just dressing on the side of it.
Because Yamada's not necessary. If you want to talk about the over-sexualization thing, yeah.
In manga pisses me off.
I was, I switched between reading and watching, and it was those covers. I'm just like,
what are we doing?
Why are we here? What's going on? Because she looks like she's in her 20s, and I'm like, why are we doing it? Because at a certain point, main dude's sister, I'm just like, okay, so she's like, what, 15, 16, if he's 13? And then she starts drinking. I'm like, what? And then it goes, yeah, I'm in college. I'm like, what? So she looks like she's 15. Yamada looks like she's 30. And it's just all sorts of upskirts and shirts off. And I'm like,
and underwear poses.
13. What purpose is there other than just your voice getting deeper, that scene?
Mm-hmm.
Why 13?
And getting taller and that type of stuff.
What's the purpose?
But it'd be fine if you were 13, if you weren't trying to perv it up throughout. And maybe that's the aspect of it. Maybe it is just the the overt fan service of it, where this is a young girl.
But then that would be the cringiest manga. But
yeah,
maybe it's just
I don't know necessarily the
anime.
anime. Yeah, okay, yeah.
The anime doesn't do that. It
Okay.
doesn't have that. But when I was just like going through the manga, I was just like, whoa. Because there's a lot of Twitter extras and stuff like that where it's just 1 or 2 pages and it's just bam. I'm like,
I was reading a chapter downstairs at some point, or we might even have been at the old house, and I think it was Peanut that walked in. Just like, you're just reading this smut in front of me. I'm like, oh my god, because she's just posing and it looks like crazy going on. Yeah. So let's get into it. Let's hear what his argument is. Okay. How can you talk about cringy?
I was just about to say.
And he couldn't even get like a proper photo. He had to just free license middle of the screen watermark. But maybe that's part of it, to be purposefully.
If this is going to be jokes heavy, you can't be talking about this anime is going to be cringy if you're making cringy jokes.
Okay, everyone, thank you for coming to the walk.
Is he a character, or is this just part of the intro?
I think this is part of the bit,
okay.
And I think that it will get serious later.
Chillong party. Nerd, I don't care if you have friends over, but why did you invite me? I feel like our tastes are just a little too different. Oh, come on, boss, it'll be fun. Besides, it's not like I have anything better to do. Okay, got a point. What show are we watching? Oh, it's silly me. Here you go, it's Pete.
I understand it's a joke, I understand that, but we can criticize jokes and how they're told. Why are you portraying them as a nerd if you have nothing better to do and you are with them?
Why would you come over knowing they're nerds just to go, you nerd, stop your nerd activity?
If they're a 1, you're a 2. Come on now.
We're playing D&D, come on over. I don't know why you invited me over for D&D.
I'll be the D&D character if I can only be a demon. It's like, you're still here. You're doing it. I understand it's a joke, but still, he did the joke. We can criticize the joke.
Yeah, you think you can't criticize a comedy movie? Like, no.
Promise. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Throughout the entire time that I've been making YouTube videos, discussions on romance anime have managed to always remain a relatively prevalent thing on my channel. One of the very first videos to ever get a significant number of engagement was my Rent-a-Girlfriend review, which to this day I think is still the most visceral rant I've ever gone on aside from my Shield Hero video, and could you really blame me? Because I think it's only gotten more justified as time has gone on. Just a reminder, I made that video nearly 4 years ago. As of the time of this recording, there's currently over 320 chapters of this godforsaken manga, and the 2 main characters are nowhere close to becoming an actual couple. And you thought your love life was going nowhere. Just be happy Reiji Miyajima isn't writing about your life, lest you end up like some poor sap.
Normally whenever me and Melina would travel...
It's his issue with Rent-a-Girlfriend that they're not together yet? It take too long? There are so many things to talk about in Rent-a-Girlfriend. It can't... Long Man Bad is not the one.
I looked up the title of that video, something rising, but it is the Shield Hero, and I still can't find his channel.
Yeah, it's lost and gone.
What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on with your channel, buddy?
What's the problem with Rent-a-Girlfriend?
Are you asking?
Yeah, I'm asking you. I don't know.
It's a lot of stop and start. So it's clear by chapter 60 they like each other, or at least he likes her, and he's coming to grips to it. And then eventually he does recognize, hey, I do like this girl. I'm gonna confess to her, and he keeps putting it off, and this is the day I'm finally gonna do it. And it's a lot of anticipation and cliffhangers that lead nowhere, just to elongate the drama of the story. So, this time it's for realsies. I'm actually 1,000,000,000% gonna confess. But my abusive ex happens to be on the trip, and that's a whole side adventure. And now we're going through this. there's a character that does like him, and he gives no, as far as I know, because I dropped that a while ago, or at least put it on hiatus.
Coward.
There is no indication of why he doesn't like her back, because he does recognize she is cute. He does recognize that he likes her, but not likes her. So this drama over here, this love triangle drama, is worthless because he has no feelings to that character. So a lot of the drama that's being extrapolated from Rent-A-Girlfriend feels super manufactured when A, they should already be together, B, the rival love interests have no shot and yet they're still not together. So we're just spinning our wheels for a thing that everyone already understands is gonna happen. Unlike something like We Never Learn, even at the end, they did select a girl, but they did a bunch of different endings just to be like, hey, if your favorite girl was this character, he gets with this character, and this is how it would have turned out, and blah blah blah. This is the canon ending. This is a bunch of alternate endings. There is no alternate ending to be had here. There is the canon ending. Why are we not there yet? Why haven't we explored what they are after they get there? It's just
personal attacks. Therefore, I'll try to keep my ill thoughts towards the mangaka in check and deliver criticism that's constructive, even though I've never had a bigger urge to strangle any author before this.
Calm down.
Personality is going to win over, and in the end, he's going to deliver some dumb friendship speech before stepping up to the plate. And
Okay, sure, whatever. Boy, how old were you in that?
We would usually only do cuck stuff for a single night, but because Nim, I guess she really wanted like somebody who was like Middle Eastern and had like a 15-inch dick or whatever, because it's like 4 times bigger than mine.
Why do you care about what's happening with Destiny?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Like, we laugh about cucks. I don't care if you're a cuck.
Yeah.
If that's what gets your rocks off, you do it.
We don't kink shame around here except for the things that we do kink shame.
And they're so few and far between that it's not even worth saying that we kink shame. But we do. You poop people, dunzo. Dunzo.
I had to do it for 4 nights. They said they would lock me in the corner of the room and just I would be getting cucked over and over.
Now the real question is Rent-A-Girlfriend the worst romance series to ever exist? No, absolutely not. And if I'm being completely honest, it's not even the worst romance.
We've not said the name of the anime. We've not said a character.
A minute and a half in. Oh yeah, I forgot. I started putting the how long it is.
There's just in 8 minutes of Destiny.
Probably not, and if I'm being completely honest, it's not even the worst romance anime I've ever seen. That being said, it definitely is up there among the ones that have gotten really popular within the community, and it has remained the reigning king of dogshit slice of life rom-coms that I've ever reviewed. That is, until the year of 2023, when a challenger finally stepped up to take its place on the throne of garbage, and that anime is The Dangers in My Heart. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a good long look at this cover image and really soak in the contents to get a good idea on what we're about to get ourselves into. Right off the bat, you can see the 2 main characters sitting in their respective spots that showcase hints of their basic personalities. The guy, whose perspective is obviously the one the story is being told from, is situated closer to the camera than the other person. Shrouded in shadows, he looks intently to the piece of literature within his hands, his consciousness deeply immersed.
What is this?
Funny TikTok hilarious vine boom thing.
Why can't people just express their issues with a thing without the need of all this visual noise?
Because the people that need this.
Then don't be here.
Or just or he's providing the thing. So what are we doing? They're getting the thing that they want.
But what about people like me who don't want this thing? Who's gonna get turned? So I get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Within the words on the paper, his stance gives him the air of seriousness and sophistication, with absolutely zero concern with the world around him.
What are we doing? At a certain point, you have to recognize, I'm being a little bit stupid here.
Well, the other occupant is basking under the sunlight coming from the window,
Pause.
symbolizing...
But she's also shrouded in shadows.
Yep.
So she has almost as much shadows as he does.
Yep. And she has a phone, so maybe she's more vapid and absent-minded, whereas they're clearly in a position where they should be studying, and she's not really caring. She'd rather be there in the sunlight and blah blah blah. And maybe even an allegory for her personality.
I don't see what's
sunshine.
bad about this if it's telling you what the personality and the dynamics are in just this one image.
Her contrast from the boy whose brooding form... What the fuck am I doing right now? What am I? Your high school English teacher? Pretentious, broody loser faggot and his female love interest.
Whoa! I see now why I can't find his channel.
Didn't you say? Are you slurring it up?
Slang and slur.
And here it is. What are we doing?
Why did we need that?
You asked back with the Rent-A-Girlfriend, how young is this dude? And this is like 4 years later, he has to be early 20s.
I was going younger because listen to how his voice sounded back then.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
thinking he's like 16, 17.
Which is, yeah, because he Just Stop was in high school when he started really getting into this.
Listen to... Why was my phone? What? It's fine.
So you can pretty much instantly tell that any story arc...
Unless they're putting on a voice.
Yeah, because it does sound a little bit like his nerd voice that he put on.
Love is in the air, my friends. Sure, I'm well aware that Valentine's Day is ancient. It is with a heart of gold. From a very young age, she developed a love for painting.
Press play.
What am I doing right now? What am I? Your high school English teacher?
Yeah, that sounded like a voice then.
Brooding form. What the fuck am I doing right now? What am I? Your high school English teacher? Pretentious, broody loser faggot and his female love interest who's obviously out of his league. There you go. If it wasn't obvious enough to you already, I
in love that outfit. He looks so good in this with the mask up specifically. He rocked up with that. Wait a second. That is the fit.
care much for this show for various different reasons, such as the main character, the boring plot, the main character.
There's no plot really when it comes to slice of life. There's situations that happen to the characters. Like, oh, she's doing a scene with this super playboy dude and I don't like that. And that's the conflict of their relationship and the situation and blah, blah, blah. And dealing with jealousy. There's not really a quote-unquote plot.
Nothing to work towards. It's just... It's just
or advance.
Such as the main character, the boring plot, the main character, the stale-ass romance. Did I mention the main character? Because I really need you to know my raw, honest opinion on the protagonist of this character-driven show. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. In order to properly illustrate why I dislike this show enough to consider it as a competitor with Rent-A-Girlfriend of all things, then we're going to have to go through a couple of key aspects that really encompasses this string of garbage together. Starting with...
Fascinated by the macabre, Kiyotaro fantasizes about acting on his twisted thoughts to the detriment of his classmates. His heart was dark until an encounter with Anna lit a spark within it, in a classic tale of boy meets girl.
Nice description, Amazon. I'm gonna start by giving this series just a small, teensy bit of credit, since the first episode does a really good job of setting up the tone and telling you exactly what you can expect throughout the rest of the story. The main protagonist, Kiyotaro, is seen reading a book in his classroom while the rest of his schoolmates are actually socializing with each other. One guy accidentally bumps into him and he has a whole ass fantasy in his head about cutting this dude up with a pair of box cutters. To put it in the nicest way possible, Kiyotaro is an autistic, socially inept faggot who is completely incapable of acting like a normal person, or as he described it, I'm
messed up in the head. He does interact with people though.
It's the Chunibyo, I believe it's called, the 5th grade delusional mindset type of thing. this is what this is. It's a trope in Japanese anime and manga and things like that. He is a lonely loser boy. You can see it as he is putting up this facade to be like, I am a
lone wolf.
I am a lone wolf.
I have studied the blade.
And that's why people don't like me, because they can just sense that. And then he plays that up to himself. You can see it as that. I think they mention a little bit like that sometimes somewhere in there. But yeah, no, this is you're supposed to see him as, oh, this dude is a creep.
Mm-hmm.
In the head. No one at this junior high realizes how the peaceful equilibrium of daily life teeters on the edge.
According to him,
Yeah.
Yes, that's the point.
Fifth graders are cringy sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's a loner who's sitting there reading a murder book. I'm sorry, but this is the point. And
Yeah.
then he grows away from that,
Yeah.
which is the point.
Yeah, it's the setup to showcase who he was pre-meeting this girl. Then he meets the girl. Then you get to see him slowly change into a more outgoing person. Not necessarily an extrovert, but at least someone that tries to
Yes.
interact with the others.
he has an insatiable desire of wanting to kill every single one of his classmates. However, the one he especially wants to murder is the most popular girl in his class, Anna Yamada. Oh my god, we got Japanese school shooter anime before GTA 6.
How does anyone find that funny?
One day during lunch, Kyotaro is...
He didn't even believe in his own joke. He delivered it so weakly. He knew he was... The second the first word out of his mouth, he wasn't going to get a laugh.
That's fine.
It was so weak. He didn't try. No, I'm going back to it for you.
especially wants to murder is the most popular girl in his class, Anna Yamada. Oh my god, we got Japanese school shooter anime before GTA 6.
How does anyone find that funny?
One day...
He gave no...
That's the point. That was the delivery.
During lunch, Kyotaro is heading out to his usual spot in the library when all of a sudden he runs into Yamada, who was already in there. As you can probably already guess, the main meat of the retard-ass plot of this show is basically Kyotaro continuously monologuing about how much he wants to kill Yamada.
Nope. You have clearly have not watched this show. You watched the first, second, maybe third episode, and that's it, because that goes away very, very fast. You are completely
Or is he
incorrect.
going, clearly that's what the story is about. Oh wait, no, they get rid of it by...
Oh, I see.
That the so-called perfect girl of the school isn't as elegant and proper as he previously expected. In fact, she's actually an extremely eccentric, oblivious, and sometimes downright clueless idiot who has about as much social aptitude as a child at times. Alright, so as I'm telling you all this, you might be thinking, wait a second, a complete fucking loser who's at the absolute bottom of the social hierarchy catching the attention of his beautiful classmate who realistically shouldn't even know he exists? I've heard this plot before.
Do you think that cute girls
Yeah.
have never dated loser-looking dudes?
Yeah, it's people can have similar interests. People can just be nice. They can grow attached to each other as they're helping, and there's a lot of things that could happen. It's not the world is not just this one thing that is popular people versus not popular people, the jocks versus the nerds.
It's not what the 70s movies were telling
Yeah,
you. Like,
it happens. I don't know what to tell you.
Several times, in fact. Here comes Pseudo with his typical elitist monkey mindset of hating anything that's not a battle shonen with flashy animation. You know, buddy, just because you don't like slice of life anime doesn't mean it's inherently a bad genre. Just because your impatient zoomer brain doesn't have the capacity.
Are they a fan of Nux?
hey, you know what? You probably don't want to be putting that energy out there these days.
No,
though.
you do. Based upon what this month said, yeah, you do.
Just sit through a slow burn doesn't mean you should make fun of people who do. Sure, the plot may not be completely original, but so very few pieces of entertainment ever are 100% fresh and new these days. Heck, you're just an unfunny ripoff of every other anime
Clearly, you've watched this video before,
Yep.
so I don't know why you're acting
That
like
was me. I did
we've
it.
never interacted with...
Wait till you get to his argument at 8:14.
Now a list exists. I know you're watching.
Hit us with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Pegasus, I sense you're watching. Oh shit.
Can he do that? I ain't never heard that power before.
That's not the power of the Millennium Puzzle.
Is that what can I do that?
He's just making a bush.
Did he just throw out a guess? Like, is he always saying that and I just happened to catch him right after the last one?
Wait a second. Is Yugi melting that dragon from the inside? Those aren't the rules. This is my game. I didn't program. Excuse me? He's cheating.
The shockwave will knock him off? I don't think so.
Did he attack the moon? What do you think that's gonna do, Yugi boy?
He broke the ring that causes the castle to float, and because they're all trapped inside the swords of revealing light, it's gonna fall on them and kill them, and somehow that just depletes all life points?
That's not how this works.
Isn't that in defense position? Doesn't it not?
Wait a second. Wait, Kaiba, don't kill yourself. Yugi.
It's just the game. Look, here's your grandpa. Look, here's Moth.
This has clearly gone too far. I just wanted wine and cheese and...
You channel out there. And you know what? You are absolutely right, strawman representation of my viewers. At its absolute base level, there's nothing extraordinarily offensive about the premise of The Dangers in My Heart. It's not high art by any stretch of the imagination, but nobody goes into these types of shows expecting it to be. More often than not, they're just putting it on because they just wanted a trashy romance show to watch after a long day of work, and that's completely fine. Sure, it's definitely on the otaku pandering side of things, but there have been
He goes trashy romance. What's a good romance to him?
That would be very helpful, because at least then we can get a base level of what he considers to be quality, and then we can go, oh, this simply is not as quality as, or so far away from the quality of this, that blah blah blah.
Plenty of shows like that, and I never made a huge fuss about it. So why? Why exactly have I decided to pick on this show in particular?
We are 6 minutes in, and we have not started the video yet.
Point where I compared it to a trash fire like Rent a Girlfriend of all things. Well, my dear viewer, like almost every piece of entertainment, it's not much the idea itself that's the problem, but more so the execution. In terms of plot structure and progression, The Dangers in My Heart runs into pretty much the exact same problem as Rent a Girlfriend in that it's repetitive as absolute fuck. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying there is something inherently wrong with formulaic storytelling, since that would suggest a wide variety of media are just terrible, which I don't agree with at all.
If you're gonna say that something is something, but then just go, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Say what you mean without saying the thing that you don't mean.
Yeah.
So where you have to clarify what you mean. Whatever you're about to say, put that ahead of the it's formulaic as.
Maybe tighten up this
Hey, maybe. Because then you wouldn't have to just go, now I'm not saying this.
Yeah.
So say what you are saying.
He could have even front loaded it with but no, because his whole thing was this big build up to like it's just repetitive as. Now I'm not saying that's a bad thing. The
Courage the Cowardly Dog is repetitive, but
Said, a formula is supposed to give you a basic skeleton to work off for your story, not something to constantly fall back on when you clearly don't know what else to do with the runtime. This is going to sound weird, but take shows like Phineas and Ferb, for example, which follows a preset structure for each episode. Phineas and Ferb have an idea, they build said idea, and their sister Candace will try to tattle on them, but their invention will always disappear before their mom can see it, every single time. The entertainment value doesn't come from what is going to happen in the story, but more so on how the story is going to play out. And the show really does get creative with how they retell what is essentially the same storyline but with different context for 4 whole seasons. But that being said, this was an actual good series that was written by competent people who clearly knew what they were doing. On the other hand, here's how a typical Dangers in My Heart storyline goes. Kyotaro tries to carry out an everyday activity, Yamada gets inserted into the scenario completely by pure coincidence, she does something incredibly stupid or cringy because she's retarded, and then Kyotaro does something even more stupid so that she doesn't get embarrassed. Rinse.
Do you have 3 examples of that happening?
in the first 2 seasons.
Because she gets inserted. Because there was a couple times where it's just like, hey, it's a class trip. I guess we're together. It's not like he got inserted because he's the shy one.
Yep. It's not like he went out to the grocery store or a restaurant with his family and she just had, or every time he's just out and about, he's running into her. They're in the same class.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I can repeat for 12 goddamn episodes.
Pause. But then you could just say it about Phineas and Ferb.
Yep.
Repeat for, but then you just go, but this is good. But this is bad. You can't.
They change the scenarios within it. Well, the Dangers in My Heart does the same thing. So
you can't just be like, this is the same thing, but this is bad and this is good, and that's why this is bad and this is good.
This ratio is crazy.
Because this mouth ain't saying nothing.
Wait. There's fucking more. Now again, just a preface, if it was literally just that, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. It would have just been a regular, boring, run-off-the-mill romance anime that wouldn't even be worth mentioning. You see, the thing that makes this stand out is just how they continue to replay this exact same string of plot threads over and over again, and somehow manage to achieve higher levels of cringe every single time. This show is excruciatingly boring at best and agonizingly painful at worst.
And that's why.
Oh wait, he said are the same thing.
He said take.
Okay, take for example.
Oh no, 814 is coming out.
Excruciatingly boring at best and agonizingly painful at worst. Take this scene from the first half of episode 1 as an example of what I mean by this. So for context, when Kyotaro ran into Yamada in the library, he actually saw her working on.
Do you say episode 1?
Yep. Had the first yeah.
I don't think he saw past episode 1.
He's really not bringing up many examples that weren't past episode 1. This library scene and all this stuff. That would be a fantastic bit if you were purposely like created a channel or a series where you're going to review something or talk about it or analyze it as an authority figure that has watched the whole thing and you've only seen...
That would not be a good bit.
Yes, it would! That's for a troll. It would be a great bit.
But that just goes into the Bricky thing where he clearly did not see part 1. And it was clear like 3 minutes into it was like, this muff ain't said a name. He ain't seen part 1.
Take this scene from the first half of episode 1 as an example of what I mean by this. So for context, when Kyotaro ran into Yamada in the library, he actually saw her working on a poster for an upcoming group presentation. The next day...
Ran into? So she wasn't inserted into this. Thus breaking your formula in the first episode.
So that one doesn't count.
He eavesdrops on the conversation among her group and overhears that one of Yamada's friends had redone the entire poster she made the other day, because apparently it was a complete mess, which triggers his white knight instincts. Aside from the fact that it was none of his fucking business and that he was being a nosy creep by listening into their discussion,
they are speaking in a public place loudly.
Yes.
I don't know what you're supposed to... What do you want? Would you say somebody, if you're on the bus, yapping on the phone... Like, are you eavesdropping or are they just, you're overhearing their loud in conversation?
The eavesdropping would be the actual him looking at her doing the painting. This is just, they are within 3 seats of him.
And she's,
fail to see how Yamada's friend was in the wrong here. I mean, they try to paint her as some kind of jealous skank who deliberately did this to try and look good or something, but we were shown pretty early on that Yamada isn't exactly the sharpest tool.
Did the series try to paint him like that, or is that the way he saw it?
Yes. Because from what he sees, she tried her best in this thing, and the old girl was just like, no, this is trash, I'm doing it over. And you could be like, you could see him sort of projecting that on himself, like, oh, hard work does not get rewarded, that's why I'm like this and they're like that. There's all sorts of stuff that you can see with that, but just that, it's just like, well, I would feel some kind of way if somebody was just like, hey, you did a bad job, when you see her doing her best,
hardest, and you say she's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Absolutely. So that just means that she's trying hard for somebody who's stupid, and she's not. She's like, well, you shouldn't have tried hard at all because you suck. It would have been better if you turned in nothing.
in the shed, so the idea that she made an incoherent mess of a poster ain't exactly hard to believe. Plus, literally...
It's not hard to believe, but he thinks she's perfect. Even with this part, he still thinks she's this beacon of a person. That's why he's so shocked when he sees her this way. And now that he's learning, it's like, oh, she's not that great. She did a poor job, but you don't have to say it like this.
Yeah, there's a way to do this.
Anybody who's ever done a group assignment, be it in high school or college, will know the feeling of having to redo slides for a presentation because one of your groupmates is an incompetent fuck. Thanks, Steve. It's an infuriatingly long and tedious process.
Okay, but how do you think Steve feels? There are going to be people that are just lazy and not trying to do anything. But how do you think your partner in that lab feels when you go, your work wasn't good, I'm going to redo it?
Straight up. Because here's the manga. Yesterday, Yamada did her utmost while working on all this by herself. And then old girl just goes, it was totally bad, so I rewrote the whole thing. Girls are... Anyone with a face just a little pretty gets torn down by envious, ugly existence. Yeah, so that's... There you go! She tried, and it's just like, you suck! And he's mad that the girl he thinks is pretty is just getting torn down!
That literally nobody enjoys doing, so the idea that this random side chick went through all that hassle just to earn a few brownie points is extremely hard to believe. It kind of...
people tear down other people all the time. Even if it's good work she did, it could just be a person that doesn't really like her, is just friendly with her because she's the most popular girl. And if you're the best friend or a close friend with the most popular girl, you in just the orbit of popularity are also going to be popular, but you can be secretly jealous and hate her and just constantly doing these little snide remarks that tear people down. This happens as well.
It just shows just how socially inept the author and anyone who's eating this shit up is. But as if
it's how socially inept he is, because this is all his perception. We're seeing it from his eyes.
And again, you're talking about social ineptitude. Where's your empathy for the character?
As she's making this face!
And eye-rollingly stupid enough when it comes time to actually do the presentation, Kyotaro notices that Yamada's all down in the fucking dumps apparently because her poster wasn't used for the assignment. Then all of a sudden a plane started passing by outside, which prompted everyone to turn their attention towards the window. Kyotaro starts panicking because oh no, everyone's going to see Yamada crying, which might embarrass her. So in order to prevent that from happening, he steps up and starts giving the best presentation of his life. Bitch, what the actual fuck is wrong with you?
Pause.
Do you think if he just started yapping, they turn their attention back?
And just saying, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with that? Because he did get all of their attention. He succeeded at what he wanted to do. What's the problem? Yes, he could have just been like, just started talking and giving a presentation.
As an introvert?
He couldn't do that when he had grown. Talked about the plot from the first episode.
Oh yeah, that's crazy actually.
He did not. Show me that you have watched past the first episode.
And don't just throw clips
begging.
During the editing.
It's super easy to just throw in clips.
We've edited A and B's with series we've never watched.
Absolutely.
When it comes to writing slice of life shows, especially those that fall into the genre of romance, having likable characters is an incredibly vital thing to get down. I have always had the opinion that writing good characters is just
Hey! Love is hard for otaku! Read Love is Hard for Otaku, people! He better not be slamming Love is Hard for Otaku!
The teen's a bit more important than the plot itself, and I think that mindset is even more applicable in this scenario because realistically, it's usually the only thing that's going to make your...
Wait, you can't be talking about repetition with Love is Hard for Otaku because there's a lot of repetition in there. There's entire chapters where they just keep going into a game world to play games with each other.
Clearly, his repetition point just falls apart because there's no explanation about what makes Phineas and Ferb good and this bad. So it just doesn't matter. It's just this point that he wanted to make, and then just go, well, I'm not saying this because this is good. That was just completely worthless point.
Love is hard for otaku, though.
Story entertaining in any sort of way. I know that sounds like a hot take, but really take a second to think about what I just said. Almost every single one of these romance shows follows a certain structure in regards to the plot. Not all of them, but a good majority do. Boy meets girl.
Didn't you just say all of them and then go not all of them? You said every one of these. Well, not all of them.
Hey, his point from 814 was very bad with the poster thing.
Hey, it was real bad.
These romance shows follows a certain structure in regards to the plot. Not all of them, but a good majority do. Boy meets girl, girl meets boy. They either both have an established interest in each other, or it's a one-sided admiration from either party. They're then constantly forced into situations where they have to interact with each other and ultimately develop feelings as they...
Boy meets girl? Okay, if they don't meet, then the show just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's a whole different series. Unless it's a series about boy, like he went back from the future and the entire series is him trying to go meet the girl because that's the only way that his child is born or the planet is saved or something. Like, that's the series. But that's still a different series.
They like each other or it's one-sided. Okay, if it was neither, then the romance just doesn't happen.
Yeah, they'd just be friends. It wouldn't be a romance anime.
There are situations where they find each other interacting. Well, yes, they have to in order for the story to happen.
Yeah, otherwise we're 13 chapters in. We were in the classroom again.
What's the?
He's like.
I don't know what he wants.
It feels very much like, not necessarily cinema sins, but of that ilk where there's all these surface level criticisms to try to break down a series and you're not allowing yourself to emotionally engage with it because you'd rather intellectually engage with it by going, well, why are these characters always meeting up weirdly outside of school? And it's like, well, you're not allowing yourself to just feel what's happening in the moment. You just want to go, I'm smarter than the thing I'm watching.
I know your game, romance anime. Well, of course they're going to find a way to get together.
His name is ThePseudoIntellectual, so it could be a bit, or he could just be doing this.
We learn about each other's respective situations. There is almost nothing unique left you can do with romance stories that hasn't already been tried. And
there's almost nothing you can do unique to any story that hasn't already been tried. What more can you do with superhero material? What can you do?
You had the dark and gritty, super shiny people, everything in between.
Gray morality.
Turning into villains, coming back. Killers, not killers.
Anti-heroes, anti-villains.
It's worthless to go, there's nothing more that you can do.
Frankly, those who watch this genre don't expect originality anyway. With that being said, I personally would say that The Dangers in My Heart falls into a category I like to call the cheeky waifu anime, not to be mistaken with the other popular genre that's come up before on the channel known as pretentious waifu anime, which is something I've actually brought up before, but it's basically just a series that solely revolves around the girl on the front cover. Other shows that can be classified under this umbrella are Bunny Girl Senpai, Haruhi Suzumiya, and Your Lie in April.
What do you mean? Okay, where? I was about to say, what do you mean it revolves around the girl on the front cover?
Because if it's the main character.
If it's a romance, then yes, it's going to.
Umbrella are Bunny Girl Senpai, Haruhi Suzumiya, and Your Lie in April, where every single thing that happens in the story will always ultimately go back to the super peppy kawaii girl with a super complex personality, and the connection will always 90% of the time be about how oh so awesome she is, and I hate it. Now you may be
I don't know what you're talking about.
Incel rhetoric.
This is I have not seen any of these things and I'm just yapping.
Hey, yeah. Maybe he hasn't seen any of these things.
Because
he is yapping.
Because from what I know of Your Lie in April, because I haven't seen it, I've only edited it. That scene that he showed, he has trauma regarding his playing of the piano. Please correct me in the comments. I know I always go, I'll ban you. Please correct me because I don't know, because what I know is of.
Don't do it, he'll ban you.
Please do it. I won't ban you. But that he has trauma from playing the piano based upon his mother, who is sick. And then he tries to play the piano again, and he gets all, which has nothing to do with her, other than the fact that she gets him out of that funk. So that's just wrong, from what I know.
And you act like people can't admire other people that they care about. Like, oh yeah, they're awesome. Like, do you want a day in the life of the dude who just never interacts with the girl, and it's just what happened that day with the dude? Like, what do you want out of the series?
Wondering, Pseudo, what exactly is a cheeky waifu anime? And I'm honestly shocked you'd even ask if you've been paying any amount of attention to the slice of life.
Hey, I love that series.
And they don't wave her butt at you every 5 seconds.
Genre, then you've definitely seen at least one show that falls into this category. You know, high school setting, absolute fucking loser protagonist somehow miraculously getting the attention of the most popular girl in class, who just so happens to be a flirty, smug, slightly sadistic cunt who despite act.
Oh my god, calm down. Okay, we're gonna address how that just doesn't fit Yamada at all.
Yeah, and
but
it also kind of doesn't fit. Is mega cute. Daisoko girls are mega cute, something like that. Doesn't quite fit that.
But you can just go popular boy, not popular boy, mildly okay popular boy, popular girl, not popular girl, mildly okay popular girl. There's 6 combinations that you can do.
There's 6 archetypes you could do, and
you can mix and match them. But as far as the not popular boring girl, that's more of the shoujo going into the popular guy thing the other way, because for the genre that you're in, you're gonna want to cater to the people that's reading it. And who's reading shonen? More than likely younger boys who feel that they are misunderstood, loners, whatever.
And it becomes more relatable to them, where they feel,
hey, maybe I can get the big titted 13-year-old. Maybe that'll be me. Ash, what are you looking at? Stop me.
I mean, after big titted 13-year-old, there's not much more you can yap about that I can go, hey, DA, maybe you want to stop here. You done said the bombshell. Now you gotta, you dropped the nuke, and now you got a gun, and I'm like, DA, maybe don't kill people. I can't.
I'm like, what the f*** are you looking at? Now say something. Say something. Say something. But yeah, as far as the shoujo goes, it's gonna be the person that perceives themselves to be the boring girl going after the super popular loner mysterious guy. It's gonna be what your audience values in terms of the opposite sex, or what you perceive that they would value.
And then you can't even say that, because you got stuff like Kaguya-sama where they're both popular, both well regarded, and everyone's just like, oh, they must be going together, they're gonna be a great couple. And it's just like, I'm gonna make her love me, I'm gonna make him love me, and they're just kind of awkwardly trying to force the other person to fall for them so they quote unquote win. It's a whole, like, there's so many options.
Like I said, it's just one of those 6 mismatch that you can go into. But he's already established that it's not really anything unique about this, and you won't really find any. Well, I think we said we won't find anything unique. But just going.
We also said that though.
This has been done before. Absolutely. What's your favorite? What's your favorite game, movie, anime, whatever? It's been done before. So saying this means nothing.
Acting like a complete whore is actually a secretly pure virgin who's ignorant to romance.
That's a Guryu thing, and that's what it is. Guryu girl.
Whatever it is. You know what it is.
Yeah. That's you're showing this archetype.
Mm-hmm. It's a particular archetype which Yamada does not fit into.
And there's a legit series that's strictly about this called Usubitch Senpai, which is just about a girl who acts like a omega slut, but it's super scared of sexual situations and stuff.
Who's ignorant to romance, Uzaki, Nagatoro, Dress Up Darling, you know the drill, and this show is pretty much just a carbon copy of those shows, but somehow worse. And it's mainly...
Yamato did not fit into Nagatoro! It did not fit into...
Go back to the things that he listed.
Pure version who's ignorant to romance.
Back the whole thing with the loser guy.
Oh, okay. Like 40.
Anime, and I'm honestly shocked you'd even ask. If you've been paying any amount of attention to the slice of life genre, then you've definitely seen at least one show that falls into this category. You know, high school setting, absolute fucking loser
This isn't high school. Loser protagonist, yes.
Category, you know, high school setting, absolute fucking loser protagonist somehow miraculously getting the attention of the most popular girl in class, who just so happens to be a flirty, smug, slightly sadistic.
This is not Yamato.
Flirty, she is not flirty, smug, nope. Slightly sadistic, nope.
Cunt who, despite acting like a complete whore, is actually a
She does not act like a complete whore.
Pure version who's ignorant to romance.
She's not ignorant to romance. In fact, she initiates a lot of their contact together because he wants him to advance the relationship a little bit. To the point. No, that's actual spoilers.
Pure version who's ignorant to romance, Uzaki.
Uzaki is not that. She gets off on him wanting her body. She is not ignorant to it. She is not a pure virgin type of character. She wants the D from him.
It's almost like he's read a synopsis and basing all of his arguments on that, or in TV tropes.
Nagatoro, I can't. That's spoilers.
Curtain down.
Dress Up Darling. You know the...
Dress Up Darling? What part of Dress Up Darling does she act like a slut? She's eccentric! She's the one that falls for him and has to go, I'm gonna confess to this mother...
Come on, talk about episode 2.
Darling, you know the drill, and this show is pretty much just a carbon copy of those shows, but somehow worse. And it's mainly because of this little shit right here. Look, I already mentioned that the majority of people who watch romance aren't tuning in for peak storytelling in any capacity. The main appeal is without a shadow of a doubt the characters, because how can you expect the audience to root for the love story if the characters aren't even likable? That was one of the biggest problems with Rent-A-Girlfriend, as every single person in that dumpster fire was dog shit in their own way.
No! There's at least one awesome girl! And she has an awesome reason for liking the dude! She can't let her heart palpitate too hard because it could affect her and even kill her. So she's been feeling nothing essentially for years. And then she meets this dude and her heart flutters. And she's like, holy, this guy's the one!
But that's where the differences comes into play. The Rent-A-Girlfriend cast completely tore down and set my mental stability on fire because
She's awesome!
Every single one of the characters were terrible. It was a collective effort in this scenario.
Now, that's the abusive ex-girlfriend. She's terrible.
Very hyperbolic statements with no backing.
Yeah, no actual...
And over and over.
No true analysis to be had here. You could throw this into a chat GPT and get this script out of it.
But for the dangers in my heart, Kyotaro has single-handedly managed to sour the entire fucking series for me due to the simple fact that this fucking midget is one of the most infuriatingly cringy protagonists that I have ever seen in my life, and I already know just saying that is going to piss off a certain demographic of people. Listen, I'll admit, I am not the big...
Yeah, fat nerd with fedora.
I'm waiting to hear why.
I am not fat nerd with fedora, at least.
Fedora.
Yeah, it's combined by our powers combined. He talking about us.
Biggest fan of loser protagonists, mainly because I don't find it very entertaining to see a sniveling man-child whine and cry for 12 episodes straight until he gets...
But then they grow out of that.
Yes.
You can see
Unless
that
it's ReZero.
I don't like seeing this, but they will grow out of that, and that's what you could like seeing.
Yeah, you really could appreciate the growth, and even if you do relate to the character, eventually you might come to see it in a way where it's just like they put in the effort, they were able to change, and good things are happening for them. Maybe if I put in the effort, things will change for me instead of just wallowing. Or again, you could just like the journey a character goes on, and you don't necessarily need that relatability aspect. You can just enjoy what they're doing, when they're doing it, and where they're going to end up.
One of my favorite scene was the speech that he had to give.
I
and
thought
he forgot
you were about
the
to
paper.
say scat dance.
Now I will bring up Scat Dance in just a second. But I love the speech that you're giving is recontextualized to the person that it means something to.
Mm-hmm.
It happens in Scat Dance. It happens in Scat Dance. It happens fantastically in Rokuno's Bad Girls to not the best girl, but one of the best girls. We all know who the best girl is. Number one. Actually, that
Clara.
girl. Actually, that girl's the best girl, but then there's actually the super secret best girl who actually is the best girl. We all know who that is, and we're not going to talk
I'm going to pick the worst girl when I read
Yes,
that.
you are. Because there's one that I'm just like, and I'm like, nah, the cast is over. It's split up. But it happens in Scat Dance. Happens in a couple things. And I really, really like that. It just is just like it's a good speech, but it means like 8 times more to the person giving it and to the person that's hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens here. They know what it's about.
Some pity pulley. Well, however, although I have an obvious bias, I can still concede that there's definitely a way to utilize a loser protagonist without making him an insufferable piece of shit. In fact, 2 out of 3 of the shows I mentioned earlier actually
He's not bringing up anything past episode 1.
Yeah.
Hey, yo!
Yeah, no, that's
Hey,
actually
yo,
crazy.
this credits bars! I watched 25 episodes when this mom ain't get past episode 1! Hey, yo!
accomplish this, and the show in particular that I'm going to use as a basis for my argument is none other than My Dress-Up Darling. The characters for this
You just said that this was the show, one of the shows that Bubba. Didn't you just say? Didn't you just say?
series are Gojo, a shy social recluse with a passion for crafting traditionalistic dolls, and Marin, a popular social butterfly who's also a giant otaku. This possible relationship dynamic works because of one vital reason. Both Gojo and Marin are likable as people. While Marin is very obviously
What makes them likable as people?
designed to pretty much be the dream girl of every smelly weeb watching this, Gojo himself is a decent protagonist in his own right. Sure, he might be socially awkward and way too shy, but he's also an extremely sweet and hardworking guy with a clear ambition that he's actively striving toward.
That's Kataro. He has a clear and active goal he's working towards. I understand it's not in episode 1, but
You also did not mention old girl, her personality, just that she's the dream of all the weebs.
Which is more than I could say for most male bro.
oh, done. I guess we're done.
out of here. We're out of here.
All right,
we're
we
not
can't
watching. We're not watching My Dress Up Darling. We're reading the synopsis, baby.
MCs. As for Shinichi from
No, we're done.
Yep,
we're
done.
legitimately
Yep.
done.
And we're moving on.
That's
to
all
something
he had
else.
with Gojo.
Yep. Hey, there's things better out there. There sure are.
more than I could say for most male romance MCs. As for Shinichi from Uzaki, he harbors a few of the same negative qualities that Gojo has, the main one being that he's not what you would call a social butterfly. In fact, he's quite the opposite, being reclusive, grumpy, antisocial, and lacking any productive hobbies besides playing video games during his spare time. However, he also has a job, is mature, polite, and independent.
They're 13.
In the first episode, Yamada is clearly uncomfortable by the dude hitting on her, and the old dude throws his bike into the river to break them up. Now, it is a selfish thing of no, she's mine, but it's also she's not cool with this, and I can't say anything, so I'm gonna do something.
Not to mention, he's jacked as fuck. Just like Gojo, he may not be perfect, but both of these guys have plenty of positive traits.
And that was in the first episode. He saw it.
Yep, this was the first episode of both series.
He saw that first episode of Dangerous in My Heart.
Oh, but I'm talking about these. Like, he's mentioning the first
my
episode of both of
goodness.
these, by the way.
qualities that balance out their faults, making it much more believable when attractive girls like Marin and Uzaki develop feelings for them. On the other hand, if we go back to the Dangers in My Heart, I struggle to find anything good to say about Kyotaro. He's unsociable, clumsy, not particularly smart, and extremely creepy. I don't think I even have to comment about his looks, as not only is he incredibly short, but he clearly doesn't put much effort into taking care of his appearance. Meanwhile,
again, like I said, the bike scene. Episode 1, she needs a box cutter and he provides that. So he is helpful. That is his thing, that he's just like, I want this is mine, and he gives it to her willingly.
Sometimes a dependable guy is... Not everybody is so into things like looks and such. Like, some people, as long as you're not, to them, completely unattractive, they'll engage with you if they think you're a good person or whatever.
And this is episode 1 still.
We can't be
doing like
doing
just
this.
using examples from the first episode, because my goodness.
Yamada may be pretty stupid, but she's also popular, has some level of social...
Does she care about her popularity? Does she have social skills, or is because she's pretty and popular that she's sociable? That she's pretty and eccentric, that she's sociable? Because just picture the same thing she's doing with an ugly girl. Would she be popular? Would she be the center of attention? Would she be getting the hey, it's okay that you suck here. You're doing your best.
The pervert dude, it's just like va va boom. That's all he got.
skills and is considered very attractive, and not to be a part-time model.
He's like 20.
She's like 20. That's such a good scene. Don't cover up the other magazines. She's just waiting for people. She opens up and she looks at them. That's good. That's some good stuff.
And not to be a part-time model. Oh, but Pseudo, the point of the show is seeing Kyotaro's development. He learns and grows a lot throughout the show.
Sure.
I am completely aware of that, and yeah, character development is all fine and dandy. But the problem is, Yamada develops feelings for him before he starts improving himself. Sure, he might have helped her out a few times, but newsflash, acting like a decent human being isn't enough to make a girl fall in love with you.
Hey, all the other guys we see interact with her don't act like decent human beings.
Yes.
So maybe she's getting a dude that's decent and she's going, oh, guys can just act like this? They can just help me? They can just be nice?
And then as she's realizing that, they're growing closer and closer together.
It could have been interesting to see them develop a friendship. Yamada starts treating him nicer, and he mistakes that kindness for feelings, only for her to reject him.
He does constantly. Well, not the rejection, but the constant. Just like, no, this is just some old bullshit.
That's a different series.
He mistakes that kindness for feelings, only for her to reject him. After that,
And then what happens?
And
He becomes a better person so she won't reject him? Lift, bro?
Yep.
Hashtag gym life
Yep.
to get the girls?
Mm-hmm. Don't be who you are. Be somebody different.
he could have had a whole self-improvement arc where he starts working out, studying, and taking showers more often, but
He does study!
He's the second in the class. He doesn't know that. He doesn't, because he's only seen the first episode, and not all of the first episode.
instead, Yamada falls in love.
In the cover, he has He started this video with the guy reading a book. He went to the library to study.
Oh, that's media analysis, huh?
Okay, let's say he starts that whole going to the gym. Do we then smash cut to 6 months later to when he has some definition?
And then just go, and then Yamada's like, blah, blah, blah. And then you just go, well, she's just vain.
Yes.
working out, studying, and taking showers more
If
often.
and in this world, he's creepy. She rejects him. He buffs up. What's the next approach to make her like him? How does he go up to her and like, I've changed.
Am I still not enough for you?
I'm good now.
Because even then, he's not doing it for self-improvement. He's doing it to get the girl.
Yes.
Because he thinks this is what she wants, as opposed to going, I want to better myself for myself.
Instead, Yamada falls in love with Kyotaro while he's still a horny little creep who jerked off to pictures of her. Even by wish fulfillment standards.
She doesn't know that.
This is pretty ridiculous. At least Kazuya was treated like the incel that he is for the most part. Say what you want about Shizuru as a character, but she wasn't falling at his feet just because he had short instances where he wasn't acting like a retard. Imagine if in ReZero, Subaru goes from an entitled, arrogant incel to the humble, caring, and thoughtful protagonist that he ends up becoming without having to go through all the death, humiliation,
Hey, he's not them things.
He ain't.
Because never forget the person that yelled at Amelia. Never forget the person that did not apologize. Never forget the conversation that never happened about that instance. He just one day woke up because a girl went, I'ma love you no matter
You're
what.
good. You're perfect as you are. He goes, you know what? I am.
Alright, let's get to work.
and reality checks in between. Character development is suddenly much less meaningful since there's no proper reason for it, right? That is exactly the issue with Kyotaro. He gets everything without having to work for it, and he changes with no proper reason.
What does he get?
What does he get?
What does he get?
Because we see him studying. It's not like the class loves him. In fact, you would know this. He has to hide his relationship. He's embarrassed that they're friends. Because he's embarrassed for her. Because he knows he sucks. Or at least his perception of what other people believe him to be is a person of suck.
I hate this show for making the phrase rent a girlfriend.
Now let me say I'm the biggest hater. I hate
Crazy bars. Episode 1 boys for life. For life. Complete bars. I can't believe this.
There's no way this man just watched episode 1.
Not all of episode 1.
Not even all of episode 1. He saw the poster rip and went,
the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this.
So in conclusion, is Dangers in My Heart the worst romance anime I've ever seen? No, of course not. If you legitimately believe this is the worst thing this genre has to offer, then you clearly haven't gone off the deep end enough. Don't get me wrong, it's still an incredibly painful experience to sit through, but there's the fact that I'm clearly not the target audience for this kind of show. As for how it compares to Rent a Girlfriend, I'd say it's slightly better purely because of the fact that Kyotaro and Yamada are significantly younger, so their stupid antics are a bit more forgivable, but that's about it. Overall, it's just another bad slice of life rom-com about stupid teenagers, made for stupid teenagers, and probably written by a fat man child. Wait, the creator's a woman? Is she single?
why would you need a second channel? What is this? What is he doing?
Wait a second, we're gonna get the big reveal.
I don't even know what this song is.
Yeah, don't want to risk it. Make the outro longer. That's an anomaly.
Fair.
Utterly
Very fair.
worthless. They did not watch the anime.
They watched the anime.
Flat out.
If you watch that intro, technically
No, they
you
did.
watched the anime.
They did the triggered.
This is exactly what you did.
Don't do it, Triggered. Don't do it. Oh man, we're gonna have to get to triggered.
Yeah. I was thinking, do you want to discuss my plan or my idea on video or off?
I don't care.
The last video of the month is on Christmas Wednesday. That's when we record. We could make it a live stream.
Yeah, we could.
That last video be triggered, and it could be a live stream.
Could. Do we want to force people to spend Christmas with us?
That doesn't matter. The people that can will be there, and the ones that can't, won't. It's no different than just waiting until Friday to watch the video.
Do I have that off? I should. What am I talking about? Of course I do. My job sucks. We'll see how I feel about that. Because I don't. In Christmas with triggered. Come on.
I mean, that's going to be the plan anyway. It's just
not necessarily because I have the 24th off, and I don't know if you do it.
I have a half day, so I'm probably going to work from home.
So see, we can probably bring it out there. Like I said, we'll discuss that.
All right.
Then.
Yep.
Maybe put up a poll, just like, hey, would you?
Would you?
Oh wait.
Oh wait. Here's a larger individual. Yes.
Yes.
Oh wait. No. Oh wait.
But that was completely worthless.
Yeah, I don't mind people not liking or calling the things bad, but please explain it better than it's repetitive. And there's no issue with repetitive because Finny and Ferb is repetitive and it's good, but this is repetitive and bad.
And this is nothing that you haven't seen before, which isn't bad, but here's all the bad things that you've seen before.
Yeah. But those were actually good. And
this is bad because this is bad.
And also Destiny's a cuck. All right, 18 minutes. All right, and here's a couple slurs for you. And let's get out of here.
Take these slurs on your way out. Let's do it. You know, I got plenty. You take them. And don't you dare leave them here. Oh, boy.
We know what we're doing Saturday. Do we want to say that part of it?
He is worth it.
That was terrible.
Oh, I was about to say, let me check out his channel. I'm like, no, it's not worth it. If that's the level. Because this seems like there's somebody who just triggered syndrome of just, I need to put out a video.
I need to put out a video. I need to call it all the bad things. Say all the negatives.
Compare it to my Rent-A-Girlfriend.
Compare it to better things. And peace out.
Somebody who just wanted to yap.
And boy. My boy,
they did. Or just a troll. Whatever the case may be, it's a worthless video. It wasn't funny. It wasn't informative. The comparisons weren't apt. It just was not good.
Yep.
Yeah, we can say what we're doing Saturday. Okay, I don't care. Like I said, people want to watch it beforehand, but presumably they did if they already voted for it.
We're doing the What is Good Writing, that stream.
Hey, but what about in T23? Shut up.
Yeah, no, that's done for the month. We're done.
We can't sit there and do it every week. Don't pick long videos.
Legitimately, like, that's y'all fault. That's y'all problem.
What's the plan for that though?
What? Which one?
Are we going back to it?
We can every now and then, like,
chip away at it.
Yeah.
Instead of just random.
Yep, we could do that. Do a little bit more of that, and then every now and then we could do an actual big, like, this is the actual stream of it. Yeah. So that's that. Phil. Again, DSP is the last stream of the year, and of the month. It's gonna be submit your clips. Send it to us in the comment section, Discord, Twitter, Blue Sky, however you can contact us. Send us those clips. We'll throw it all in a big playlist.
Blue Sky.
We'll watch some of them. Yeah, I'm on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
I'm basically done with Twitter.
I need my butts.
Hey, I will say, Blue Sky's lacking some butts.
I thought you were about to say it's butt heavy.
No.
Speaking of butt heavy, $82 goal not hit.
Boy, he is on panic.
Because he knows it's over.
He knew off rip what was gonna happen. The second it ended, that's why he wanted to keep it going for as long as humanly possible.
Because that's exactly what happened with the vestry. It ended, and then he just went, all right, what's the next thing? Do we want to start over? Do we want to chair spin?
Bubbles, and then the bubble got rolled into the likes, and then that went away, and then all the accentuations and glasses went away.
It's just the next gimmick of, hey, what do you guys want? Instead of a natural thing. And the what do you guys want? The people that vote for it, they would have to come back in order to donate for this thing that they voted for, and they would have to pony up their money, which they're not doing. And he knows it could. Within like the span of 3 streams, he changed it from, all right, yeah, we're gonna start it all over. It's another streak, 100 streams. It's gotta hit it, and then I'll play the dumb in butt booty game. And then he failed instantly. It was like, okay, 100 cumulative. Let's do it.
Anytime, anywhere. We're not gonna hit it all the time, but we can hit it a few times, and if we do that every week, we'll be good. Path of Exile wage quit. Marvel Rivals is getting on the chopping block.
$82, and I cannot wait for him to come back to the guys tips, because tips were $10. Imagine that. Back then, when it was only the stream was the number go up only with tips, it would say a flat $10. Oh, he'd be hurting.
Yeah, and it's funny because he's probably making less money now than he used to, because he was getting those 200, 300s and super chats and memberships, and then it's just like, hey, these
and they
tips,
just weren't counting as
the tips. So people are looking at the actual numbers that count at 42 and going, well, Phil needs another $118.
My funky little $10 ain't gonna do nothing, so I'm gonna save it. So by the end of the year, we're gonna be back to where we were in the beginning.
Hand in hand.
It's gonna be right back, and
the taxes are coming.
Time is gonna go crazy.
We're gonna get not even marathon streams. We're gonna get a megathon
straight up
for sure.
Because within these like 3 months, he made like 40K additional, not counting what he just makes passively with Patreon and ads and normal stuff. This is additional.
He made stupid money.
And he saved nothing.
Nope. New washer dryer, top of the line. We got the expensive ones.
Man, still tried to be like, hey, give me $150. I'll still eat the Popeyes chicken. You guys gotta earn it though. Give me $150 and I will eat this chicken sandwich. And it's like, is that a reward?
Sound good?
But like I said, he doesn't know what people want. So he's just like, watch me eat food?
He's never known what people wanted, because he went on a rant today of just like, people are saying, because my wife, I can't look at women in video games and such and such. These idiot conspiracy theorists. Back in the day, I was doing content for teenagers because I figured the biggest audience was going to be teenagers, which just tells me that, hey, Phil, you were never the realest motherfucker on the internet. You put on an act just to get money, to garner the attention of the audience you perceived was going to be the largest, and that audience is still the largest. You just no longer want to cater to them in that particular way. But he goes, all right, but I'm past that. I've grown up. My
sensibilities have changed.
Someone said to me, Phil, it's boring.
It's played out. You need to grow past this. This isn't meaningful, Philip. And he goes, you're right.
One singular person of your audience said, Phil, this ain't cooking
this ain't meaningful. You need to be meaningful.
It's too much sugar in the sauce. You need to dial it back a little.
Oh, you got a little too much dip on your chip. and it's just, and now it's just this. And I can't wait for things to just slowly revert. Just slowly.
Oh yeah.
Because he's begging for that hitting 10 for the DSP tries it.
And it's not coming.
And it's just not happening.
And it's great because DSP tries it is worthless. Thing Ask the King, which is defunct, is worthless. The Q&A streams are worthless.
But he tries to make the DSP tries it worthful.
How?
Meaningful. By going the tanginess of the sauce contrasts with the coolness of the like he's some sort of chef breaking down each and every ingredient.
I could really take the garlic.
That's the worth that you're getting. You're not just seeing me eat. You're seeing me make analysis and compare and contrast all the flavors that I'm getting to better justify your purchases.
Yes, Phil. I would assume Popeye's chicken has pepper. The sauce they said was on that, which is going to be sweet heat. A little sweet, little heat. And it's actually burning the back of my throat. I'm getting some of that afterburn.
That heat. And it's worthless. But he doesn't see it as that.
No. He doesn't understand why it's worthless. Even if
absolutely.
He doesn't understand why something is of worth. Once again, snowflakes with their codes to think blah blah blah. Indiana Jones, and it's the same rhetoric over and over and over again. I had to get a company that wasn't gonna cancel culture, but this crybaby. Oh,
not even counting DS politics, which is going down. Killed the streak. Oh, that boy got a month left. It's gonna say a lot about the next couple streams. To see if this keeps going.
It's shocking he wasn't doing this because it's just React content. Yeah. But with the thing,
it's just him yelling, spewing rhetoric, going, do better. Don't tell me how to give my food.
And he's still making jokes about that. Oh, they needed cassava beans. It's
going to be an interesting last stream of the month.
And year.
And ever.
Yeah.
Last stream ever. Yep. You heard it here.
We're gonna have heart attacks, and you're gonna hear
the double thud. And then the stream is just gonna keep going until somebody comes into this room and unplugs it. No! Oh no! That's what happened. I realized, boy, I'm really slow today. I'm not picking up on any signs.
That was crazy. Yeah. I heard double thud. I'm like, oh, he's doing it on purpose. And then you kept going. No. I'm like, no, this is just him.
No, I'm stupid. No, that's all that's happened here. Don't worry about it. I don't deserve it this time.
That's fair. And neither do y'all.
Yeah, nobody's watching at this point.